So hello, how are you?
Great.
Great.
Very well, thank
Cool.
you. Yeah.
Well, welcome to Night of Misfit Films.
I feel very welcome.
Hayden, I want you to introduce yourself, please.
I am Hayden Croft. I am a writer-director. I live in North Hollywood and have for about 10 years. Directly prior to COVID, I was writing and directing most of the projects that I worked on, but then after COVID kind of tapered down a little bit, decided my focus should be more on writing. I also do novels, and I had, during COVID,
Cool.
I wrote a novel,
Yeah.
so I was like, when I can come back in this.
When are you going to produce it?
The novel?
Yeah.
I believe I'm making the transition
Yeah.
now into a screenplay.
Cool.
So hopefully maybe sometime this next year.
Yeah.
That would be
Good
great.
luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. So now, let's talk about your movie, okay? Do you have like a synopsis in mind?
Well, actually, I have two movies playing here this year. The first is Boyz Klub,
Okay.
and that's spelled Boyzklub.
Why?
Because the traditional spelling, in addition to already being taken by actually several projects, both feature, short, I think there's even a documentary. I wanted the title to be sort of indicative of the flipped script nature of the film, you know? Like, we can pronounce the name, we know what it means, yet it's a different approach.
Exactly.
As something that we've seen sort of the subject tackle.
Okay. And what's it about, Boyz Klub?
It is about 4 white upper crust men going to what is essentially the Academy Awards, although it's never said Academy Awards. They call it the Movie Awards, but it's a clear analog. The whole thing takes place in the back of a limousine.
Okay.
But the twist, the thing that sort of flips the script, is that they are not played by older white men.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you'd think like Mad Men type of, like Don Draper and his crew. It's the parts are played by women of color, the variety of young women. Yeah. And so they speak and act and body language and stuff of these sort of like 40s and 50s year old country club male set, but it's very interesting to see these lines coming out of this sort of different demographic.
Cool. Yeah. And let's talk now about the second movie.
Second movie, excuse me, is called Hammertime. It's a short I did early last year with a friend of mine in the master's program at USC. It's sort of more, I guess, traditional in the sense of when people ask me what I write, I usually respond mainly comedy and crime are the two things. So either your traditional comedic tale or sort of Tarantino, sort of heist films, things like noir, things like that. So with Hammertime, super simple description. If I could segue into just what it's basically
go
about,
ahead,
this will
please.
be a lot shorter. It's just 2 hitmen that are waiting in this guy's apartment for him to get back, where he is to be disposed of for an unknown transgression, and they, much like in Pulp Fiction, also need to find something that he has either stolen or borrowed and not returned from their boss who sent them here. Sort of a MacGuffin, honestly, this thing. It really doesn't matter too much to the story. But these 2 guys are from different crews, put together for the first time, very different in their approach to their craft, if I may call it such.
So interesting.
Yeah, so there's sort of this like strange sort of friendship arc that develops. It's only a little over 7 minutes, but it's without giving too much away. It's fun. I like it.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Well, my last question for you is, what, like, the film approach for both, because you have two movies, you know, on both of the movies. Do you feel that did you use the same film approach? Do you feel that you maybe evolved, you know, doing the second movie? Tell me more about your experience, you know, now, you know, looking objectively back on, you know, these two projects.
Yeah, definitely very, very different. I mean, I've been in Hollywood in LA for a little over 10 years now, and I mean, I was writing projects, scripts, stuff like that before. I'm pretty like my method is kind of static now as opposed to how I write things, but the what of what I'm writing is very different. Like I like to think I have quite a bit of range, and then especially with the people I work with as far as the director and the cinematographer, editor, producer. One of these films was directed by a friend of mine, very similar in age and our film education up until this point. So he directed that project, which is Hammertime, and then later I wrote this sort of radical flip script, turning of the tables piece, Boyz Klub, which I didn't feel like I would be the best one to direct such a project, just due to the subject matter and just due to I mean, I'm not just looking in a business sense. I think it'll be more successful with a female director, but I think just more perspective that she could lend that I, probably couldn't. Knowing how women interact with each other. Of course, they are playing men, but there's an element of that as well. So. Cool. These are very different as far as the approach.
Well, thank you for your movies, and his movies are playing tonight, so come and join us and watch these two beautiful movies. Well, thank you for being with us tonight.
Of course, yeah.
And I will see you around. Yeah,
okay.
cool. Yeah,
great.
thank you.
Well, thanks so much.